To convince me. I convinced myself. You had yesterday scheduled over 800 hangings. They didn't hang anyone. They canceled the hangings. That had a big impact.
The US President Donald Trump insists that he did not succumb to pressure by the Gulf and Israel to suspend the strikes on Iran. He insists that he convinced himself that it was not appropriate to bomb Iran had they had promised not to hang around 800 protesters. Nevertheless, on Wednesday, reports indicate that Netanyahu called Trump to suspend the strikes on Tehran. This is because Netanyahu felt that Iran would retaliate against Tel Aviv and cause massive damage, considering that the air defense system of Israel has not been repaired or revamped as it was extensively damaged during the 12 days war in June of last year. And so it was not appropriate to bomb them. Again, the issue of bombing Iran was not working with majority of policymakers in Washington, for they felt that air bombardment of Iran could not make the regime to succumb and get out of power. And so a regime change could only be achieved through deploying ground troops, which the US was not willing to do. However, the air incumbent, the Shah of Iran's son, Reza Pahlavi, thought that a regime change could be achieved by air bombardment.
Hear the Iranian people standing behind me and calling my name. This doesn't occur incidentally. They have known my track record. They know my unwavering commitment to democracy and human rights. This has been my position the day I started and remains my position to this day. They know they can trust me because I've never seen me waver from this. And ultimately, what I'm trying to make sure is the final element that will prove to the Iranians that are in full control of their own destiny, is to turn power back to them, a power that has been taken away from them by this regime, which we are fighting today.
Though there are still indications that Israel or the US might attack Iran, the US has not indicated that it is willing to do so in the near future, considering that its military assets have not been fully moved to the Middle East, and it will be difficult to launch aerial bombardments without the aircraft carriers near the shores of Iran. Again, the Gulf states are not convinced that attacking Iran will be beneficial to them, considering they feel that with escalating tensions in the region, their main business, which is tourism, is majorly affected. Again, Donald Trump does not want to be stuck in a war with Iran. He wants to enter and get out of this war, considering Donald Trump doesn't like a long, convoluted war that will get America stuck there for years, like it has been stuck for years in Afghanistan and Iraq. And so Donald Trump wants to be convinced that a strike in Iran of a few days would crumble the regime and bring a new change that is democratic and that is not as autocratic as the Ayatollahs are to this day. Well, as things goes by, negotiations are still going on, but you don't know with the US, they can strike you in the middle of negotiations. Hence, the Iranians are battle ready for any attacks from the US. But as things goes by, the US is trying to look for a best way to deal with this Iranian issue so that they feel that they have won. For Donald Trump must always win in any situation. He does not want any situation where the Iranians will be gloating that Trump chickened out from a fight with them and hence they are superior than the US. That is all. Kindly like and subscribe this channel.